By virtue of being under the ISB umbrella, we kind of try to use the vast network resources problems exist, which need to be tackled, right? Looking to find these solutions from the nook and corner of the country.
Welcome to Startup Story Spotlight. Today we're joined by the CEO of AIC, a business accelerator based out of Indian School of Business, Mohali campus, to empower early stage founders to build highly impactable startups. With 70 plus startups already supported, 100 plus mentors and industry experts on board, and close working partnerships with government, with investors and ecosystem builders and financial institutions like Goldman Sachs, their stories, the startups stories speak for their success. And you can definitely check out their website aicisb.org for interesting stories of startups that have come out of it. And we'll be talking a lot about it as well as about clean tech. But for now, let's welcome the CEO, Mr. Naman Singhal. Hi, Naman. Thank you so much for joining on this conversation. Tell us, we want to start this conversation by you telling us a bit about your background before AIC, what you did before that. Tell us all about that.
Hey Lata, thank you so much for inviting me. I think it's a wonderful initiative. So good to talk about your own self in the beginning. So before AIC, I like to say that I have a kind of a diverse experience. So I got a chance to start my career with Ola Cabs in 2015, and that's when I got an opportunity to experience the high decibel environment of one of the first unicorns of the country, and how a startup works from the inside, and that gave me fantastic exposure to different aspects of a startup in general. I then moved on to work for NITI Aayog, which is the policy think tank of the government of India, and I was specifically working with the Atal Innovation Mission, where we were trying to set up 100 incubators across the country and about 10,000 Atal Tinkering Labs. And talking about the incubators, one of them is the AIC where I'm working now. So that again gave me an exposure to the innovation and entrepreneurship ecosystem from a central government point of view. Again, a fantastic exposure, and post that I went on to work with Reliance Industries, which is India's largest private company, and specifically we were building a multidisciplinary university which is called Jio Institute, and I was formerly the first employee on the payrolls of the parent company, and by that I got to work on a completely, all the aspects of setting up the institution, and actually realized what it is to be on the 0 to 1 kind of phase. So I think, just to sum it up, very early in my career, I realized that I'm driven more by impact than by sales targets, and hence I've been associated with sectors where I see massive impact in the future, be it higher education or incubation.
That's awesome, and I could really pick up so many things from there. What did you learn from working, in the government setup, and then what did you learn from Geo? What did you learn? And there's so much. I'm sure you have so much insights, and we'll cover that. But before jumping to that, tell us about AIC at ISB. What does it do? What it provides to startups? How it provides scalability, and what all do you offer at this?
Right. So AIC, as I said initially, was set up by the support from Atal Innovation Mission, NITI Aayog, and it's a business incubator housed in the Indian School of Business Mohali campus. We are focusing on empowering early stage founders to build high impact scalable ventures. And how we do that, we utilize ISB's vast resources, vast network pool, and through that we provide the right support at the right stage to budding entrepreneurs and early stage founders. We try to give them mentorship, we try to give them tools, and we try to connect them with the relevant partners to kind of execute their pilots, build products, and secure, ultimate goal is to build financially sound investable ventures. And over the years we have made significant progress. We are proud to say that AIC alone has supported over 100 startups in the last few years, and we have done this through different cohorts. We've done 10 odd cohorts till now in different sectors. There have been amazing case studies. Some of our startups have been, raising funds, etc. To give you an example, a startup of ours, which is called BioPrime, they went on to, build some solutions around the biomolecules itself, which has applicability in the agri sector. So they are able to develop effective and affordable agri-biologicals, and they have been able to raise 9 crores in pre-series A itself. And there are multiple examples like that.
Interesting. And for everybody watching, we were actually discussing this before we began our interview itself about the interesting stories of AIC. And thankfully Naman has brought up one, but there are so many. If you go to their website, you'll literally see so many beautiful stories that you'll actually love about what is happening in the country. And the innovation is very fascinating, to be very honest. So should definitely check out their website, and we'll talk about more such innovations going further as well. But Naman, tell us about iVenture, and what role are you playing? How is that collaborating with AIC at ISB, of course, and how do you both plan to cooperate to give even a better startup ecosystem to the country?
Right, Lata, thank you for asking this question, because at times we say that we have AIC at Mohali, we have D Labs in Hyderabad, and then it's difficult to then understand what iVenture is. So for everyone, iVenture at ISB is the umbrella brand, which is kind of bringing together all the pillars of entrepreneurship at ISB together under one roof, with an aim to foster entrepreneurship and nurture startups. So within iVenture, then we have 2 incubators. One is D Labs, which is in Hyderabad, and the other is AIC at Mohali campus. Obviously, we all work very closely. It's a team of about 20 people now, and inside it's all iVenture, and AIC or D Labs is just for legal bifurcation, so to say. We also have an initiative which we call as DIRI, which is the Digital Identity Research Initiative. Then we are running a program which is called TriCore, which focuses on tribal entrepreneurship. So there are different activities which are going on, and all catering to startups, which seek help during start to scale kind of level. And all of these have to be, by virtue of being under the ISB umbrella, we kind of try to use the vast network resources that ISB has, and we have some fantastic, mentors, fantastic VCs, and of course, some of the best professors in management across the world are here. So we kind of, take pride in saying that we utilize all of these support. Again, to tell you some numbers, under iVenture at ISB, through different programs, we've supported 300 plus startups through about 25 plus cohorts from incubation or acceleration areas. And talking about mentors, we have a pool of over 500 mentors from different verticals, different sectors, different industries, etc., and through them we are able to do the matchmaking in a pinpointed kind of way, where we associate startup looking out for a specific business problem in a specific sector to that particular mentor, and hence it's a beautiful setup that we are able to drive.
So, Naman, but you've done your PGDM from IIM Calcutta, if I'm not wrong, right? So, do you think you should have done it from ISB instead?
Well, that's a very interesting question. I had amazing time at IIM Calcutta, and for the last 2 months that I've been at ISB, it's a vibrant community. It's a lovely campus. See, I had a good time back then. I'm sure if I do it now from ISB or from any other place, I will be in a good place. But education is one side, but the entire working environment that I'm getting at ISB is amazing. The fraternity is extremely welcoming. I'm able to reach out to professors in niche areas, very easily, and that's why everybody is very welcoming of the startup ecosystem in general. They appreciate the kind of work we are doing. They want to collaborate more. So it's a very vibrant environment that we have here.
Wow, sounds like a family for sure.
Oh yes.
Awesome. Also, one more thing I could pick up was about tribal entrepreneurship. Tell us a bit about that, because I am very curious to hear about that. Are we getting interest from people from tribal communities, tribal places?
So thank you for asking that. It's as interesting initiative for the world as it is for me. But essentially how it started was by the Telangana government. There was a scheme launched under Telangana government by the Tribal Development Department in 2018, where they wanted to promote industrialization and entrepreneurship amongst the tribal communities. And we at ISB, we kind of became the knowledge partner, and through that, for the last 3-4 years, we've conducted 3 batches of the program, where every batch, every year, we kind of bring together members of the tribal communities, and there's a set of eligibility criteria which is there in the website, but we bring them on board with us for a span of 3 months. Out of that, we also invite them to our campus in Hyderabad for a compulsory 15 days academic residency. And the idea is, during 3 months, again, just like the rest of the programs, we kind of groom them, we kind of impart the basics of entrepreneurship, basics of business, and empower them enough to kind of build large ventures. So that's the whole idea.
Naman, tell us a bit about this, the Clean Tech Accelerator program. Very curious to know about this. People are obsessed with the world right now, in the economies, right, in the world right now. What is clean tech, and what is this Clean Tech Accelerator program at AIC?
Pollution is one area. There's entire talk about global warming which is there. Then the world is facing a lot of water scarcity. While there are floods happening in certain areas, there are drought affected areas, and in general there's a lot of stuff about climate change which is happening, and then the kind of problems that it is kind of bringing in. Now, problems are there, and there are G20 itself has recognized this. There are various world forums which have realized that these problems exist, which need to be tackled, right? So there is a considerable growth in the need to shift towards clean and renewable energy sources. There's a need for improving energy efficiency in general. How can we do all of that? There's also a shift towards developing clean technological solutions to address all of this, and have a more sustainable kind of a living, enhance water and sanitation systems, promote e-mobility for that matter. And also, very interestingly, now a lot of companies are also adopting to sustainable practices in construction and building management also. So on one side we have problems, on one side there are a lot of solutions which are getting developed as we speak. Clean tech acceleration program that we built is kind of looking to find these solutions from the nook and corner of the country. We want to pick up solutions which are there in the market. We want to give them a platform for nurturing themselves, and with the idea that you address some energy issue, some environmental issue at large. And goes back to saying the kind of support that we do. So it'll be a comprehensive support covering mentorship, capacity building, access to field trials, access to markets for some of the startups, and also networking and access to VC networks. We want to empower the clean tech startups that are there to thrive and attract the attention of the relevant stakeholders, so that eventually there are scalable ventures coming out in this particular arena.
Understood. And can you cite few examples? We were just talking right before the interview. Bring that up in the interview as well, so that people are also excited. You've already mentioned one. If you have one or two more, please go ahead and mention, so that people are excited, really excited about the space, and we get as much interest as we should be by now.
Yeah, so as one of the things which I think even you were curious about. So there is a startup which is called Ashaya, and they are into waste management, and what they do is they convert chip packets to sunglasses, and it's a very very interesting product that they've developed. We've helped them under one of our schemes, which is the Startup India Seed Fund scheme, and we've actually given them a grant of 10 lakh rupees. We've not only helped them with a grant, but we've actually helped them with market trials and the launch itself. To tell you, I'm filled with examples, but to tell you about one more, which is called A2P Energy. Again, one of the startups that we incubated, and these people, what they're doing is they're trying to convert paddy husk into pellets through which you can generate energy, and that also takes care of the burning side of things, and we know how big how big a problem that is in areas of North India. There's another one which is called Qs and Slabs, and they are having IoT devices for quick, accurate and non-destructive internal quality grading of fresh foods, and that enables retailers to manage their supplies and eventually prevent wastage. So a lot of innovation is happening, very very interesting innovations that are being developed as we speak, and our job here as the incubator is actually to scout for these, give them the right platform, and eventually nurture them to become big.
Understood. And let's say any startup wants to be a part of this program, how can they be? What is the complete procedure? What is the duration of the program? How to get into, and what impact, what help can they expect out of this?
Right. So we've already talked about the impact side of things. I'm personally very excited. We're bringing together a lot of industry players, a lot of partners. To name a few, we have Microsoft, MITI, Startup Hub, NRDC, Climate X Capital. From industry, government, investor side, we have plethora of partners. We have a great pool of mentors. We have fantastic resources to offer, and it's gonna be a 3-month robust program. Talking about the dates itself, right now the applications are open and people can come to our platform through the links that are provided, and they can apply. We plan to close the application on 31st of August, post which we will take about 2 to 3 weeks for doing the due diligence. It's a very interesting area because we actually reach out to the shortlisted startups. We have deeper level conversations with them. We try to understand what is it that they need from us and how well we are able to manage those needs. And after that, we will be able to curate a list of 12 to 16 startups who we will take on the journey of the next 3 months with all the support that I said. And towards the end is when we plan to conduct a demo day where we will exhibit these startups to the investors in the hopes that a lot of them will end up raising a lot of funds.
Understood. And talk to us about any other programs that you'd have other than Fleet Tech Accelerator program that people can think of being a part of.
Right. So in I Venture at ISB in general, we have been the idea is we are a sector agnostic incubator. So with the resources of ISB, we bring in a lot of business expertise to the table. We actually groom startups who are looking for mentorship around go-to-market, product market fit, valuations, figuring out the right TG. So all of the business fundamentals is what we take pride in saying that we might just be the best ones at it. Having said that, we focus on different sectors. In the past, we've run programs on healthcare. We just about 3 weeks back in Bangalore, we conducted a very successful demo day for our iHeal cohort. We have done programs on agri-tech, on SaaS. There are programs on EdTech, women entrepreneurship, which are live. Soon we are launching a program on social impact. So there is, we are doing a lot of activities, and even beyond the programmatic engagement. If there are startups who wish to associate with us, we really like to have conversations and understand if through our networks, through our programs, if there's any way we would be able to support them. We try to craft a unique offering for them as well. So the good part is the slate is blank, and we try to fill in as much colors as we can.
Love that line. Awesome. All great to know. And guys, I'm sorry, I have to be partial, but when you hear ISB, there's something promising that's going to come out of it. So it has created that brand value, right? So definitely one to go for. Moving forward, Naman, so I've generally interviewed founders, startup founders who are looking to raise funds or who are in the market. This time I feel like I'm on the other side right now with you because you're the CEO of an accelerator, right? So tell us, and you're a young CEO, right? CEO, if I'm not wrong. Naman, I think, has just joined 3 months back, and he's already very into it. So Naman, tell us, how is it like being a very? I think you're a first-time CEO.
Oh yeah, first-time CEO.
How is it like being a CEO? That's actually CEO is it's a far-fetched dream for a lot of us. Okay, you're one right now. So please tell us how it feels like to be called a CEO, number one. What changes happen after you become a CEO, and how it ends up becoming, what goes through your mind.
Right. So that's a very interesting question, Lata. When I actually got this opportunity for some days, there was a time when it was still sinking into me that the position is there. It's a very interesting role. I've always aspired to we all do. We look forward to moving ahead in our careers. And I think this role itself came at a time when I thought I have decent amount of experience in executing a lot of things in the startup side itself. So it's very interesting. It's very heartwarming, and at the same time, when you step into the role after like 1 or 2 days, you actually start getting a hang of the things that you have to do. So in my previous jobs, I had, if I can say that, I had a set of responsibilities with me. Okay, my domains were aligned, and we could go into depth of a certain activity. But in this role, I have to be more horizontal in my daily affair. So looking at a plethora of activities, looking uh, at the at the entity itself from a larger standpoint, also to understand what are bigger risks, what are bigger opportunities. So looking at the larger picture is what is exciting. um, what else it brings is that you we in fact are blessed with a fantastic team over here. I have about in AIC itself, we have 5 members working with me, and super energizing team. So they keep you upbeat on the different programs. Each one of the team members is leading one program and something extra. So they are doing their part, and that's pushing me to do mine. And it's overall it's very exciting. It's every day is a new day in a role like this, plus in a sector like this. I get to meet fantastic ecosystem players across Mohali. I get to meet startups. I get to meet potential investors. So overall, it's a very, very exciting space. I do hope that I'll be able to make some good mark in the incubation space.
Of course you will, and I say that because you'll always see a CEO always feeling gratitude to his team, towards his team, in any interview, and you did that. So that's a good sign. Just saying, they're always very happy and blessed to have their team around. So that's always something you see about a CEO of any company, be it Apple, be it any small startup, be it anywhere, right? And that humbleness, I guess, keeps the CEOs going, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I think that's bang on, and the team is
Moving forward, we're talking about clean tech, right? One of the main challenges posed in this clean tech industry right now is the serious issues are the serious issues in the supply chain. So there are three major countries that account for almost three quarters of the total clean tech industry in the supply chain right now, such as you talk about batteries, you talk about solar panels, and there are so many others. Why do you think that is? Why is it so concentrated right now? And what do you think is going to be the way forward?
I think you've highlighted a good problem. There was a recent report from IEA which highlighted these issues in particular, and that was where it was said that the three largest producing countries account for almost 70% of the market for products like panels, turbines, etc. And China, of course, is the dominant one there. Interestingly, if you read the report more closely, it also says that 70% of the world's cobalt is produced in Democratic Republic of Congo alone,
Yeah.
and three countries account for more than 90% of lithium production, right? And what happens is, and it was highlighted in the report, and something that I think should be taken cognizance of is that if you have concentration of these resources at a particular point, and which is linked to the supply chain, then the entire supply chain is vulnerable to incidents, right? Be it related to that particular country's policy choices, or if there's a natural disaster, or technical failures, etc. So I think from that perspective, the problem is large. The solution is very obvious, which is diversification of production across different regions in the world. This can be achieved through let's say tech transfers or cross-border collaborations, treaties, and also encouraging local manufacturing of a lot of the units, because then you reduce dependence on the dominant players. Interestingly, that is where programs like clean tech also come in very very handy, because that's where we get to scout for these solutions which are there in the market and kind of scale them up. So I think interesting problems. It's only a matter of time that the world pivots and looks for good solutions.
Where that you glad that you mentioned about your program also there. we that's what a CEO does.
I will promote my program.
Yes, of course. That's bang on. That's what a CEO does. So bang on. But no, but in genuine way, I think rightly mentioned. People should definitely anybody willing to get into clean tech, because clean tech is going to be the future. We're talking about if they have any ideas, definitely should join program, should apply for and be a part of it. Guys, 31st August is the deadline to apply. Please go ahead and do that if you feel like you can be a part of this. You will have all the support from them, definitely.